Hey everyone, and welcome to this $1,400 stimulus check update, third stimulus package update. And yes, this is the third stimulus package update. But I have some information on what is upcoming after this passes legislation. That is assuming that it's going to pass, of course. And that is the fourth stimulus package that Joe Biden and his administration are now putting together. What does it include, and more importantly, how much is it going to cost us? Also, some quick information on timing when we could expect the $1,400 stimulus checks to actually be sent out as we get closer to March 14th, which is the deadline that Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, and Chuck Schumer all said that they want to meet so people don't lose their unemployment benefit boost. It's looking more and more like we could be seeing that, but there is still the $15 per hour minimum wage that is going to create a problem in the Senate. We're going to get to that. Hey everybody, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. I would just like to take a minute to say a big thank you to all my subscribers, everybody that helped smashing that thumbs up button for the last 2 months. I really appreciated it. We've reached 20,000 subscribers on this channel, and it honestly happened much faster than I thought it would, if at all. It's very humbling and exciting to see the type of growth that this channel has really taken on. So I really appreciate all the comments that you guys leave. Obviously, a lot of them are pertaining to the content matter at hand, but I really appreciate the ones that notice some of the work that actually goes into creating these videos, keeping on top of things, putting out new information on a daily basis. So I really appreciate that. And so if you're a current subscriber of this channel, I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to continue to grow bigger, better, stronger. That tagline's taken. But just continue to put out content. Actually, I just put out a poll just the other night asking what type of content you guys would most like to see on this channel, because obviously these stimulus updates, while they're so much fun, they're obviously going to be coming to an end at some point. Maybe they're going to be coming to an end at some point. But really, I wanted to focus this channel on other things. So I put out that poll. If you haven't seen it, go to the community tab on my channel, and I have a couple of options there. It basically asks, do you want to see more content revolving around small business, entrepreneurship, digital marketing, business news, things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, or even digital marketing and marketing, which is a lot of my background. And one of the options was all of the above. And so far, it looks like the majority of you had said, yeah, let's see all of the above. So, so I appreciate that. That kind of gives me a wide open scope. I have so many things that I would like to cover, things that really interest me and that I've been involved with for the past 20 years of my professional career, things that I'm just getting involved with now, and things that are brand new. Go to the community tab on my channel, click on one of those options on that poll, and I'd still like to see what you guys are most interested in. So if you are not a subscriber to this channel, I would ask you to consider subscribing. You've just heard the types of content that I put out and that I'm going to be putting out as well. So if you want to join this community, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's very alive and active. If you want to support a new YouTube channel like this, best thing that you can do, smash that thumbs up button. If you do that, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, well, let's get into some stimulus news. So this week has obviously been a very slow week for stimulus news. Not a lot's been going on. They were actually, most of Congress was actually on recess. However, the ones that were still in Washington are basically the ones that are writing up all of the budget committee notes, putting them into a stimulus bill that is actually going to be revealed next week to be voted on first by the House of Representatives. Now, one of the biggest things that is being included in this is the $15 an hour minimum wage was included by the Ways and Means Committee. And they did this after the Senate voted not to include it. So they did it anyway. Now, if you've been watching these videos for the last, say, month or two, you've been seeing that the House of Representatives, the Democrats have the bigger majority, and it should pass the House of Representatives with no problems. It's once it gets to the Senate, that's where some of these issues could come up. The biggest one being the $15 an hour minimum wage that Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema said they will vote against if it is included. Well, Joe Manchin has since backtracked just a little bit and basically said, well, his concern was mainly that something is, he doesn't want anything included in the bill that wouldn't be allowed to go through the budget reconciliation process. So if it's not a legal part of that, he would vote against it. But if it is deemed a legal or needed part of it, then he would now vote for it without explicitly saying the $15 an hour minimum wage. Now, the one other roadblock right behind him is Kristen Sinema, who said she doesn't want to vote for anything that doesn't involve being pandemic related, and the $15 an hour minimum wage basically fits that description. So the timing is that next week this bill will be unveiled, all of the details. We're going to get to read through it and see everything that is included in it. Obviously, we know some of the bigger ticket items that is included in it. So it should pass the House probably by next week. Probably Friday the 26th is when we're looking at the vote for the House of Representatives. After that, it moves on to the Senate, and they're going to have their battle there. The theory is once all this actually gets passed, whether it does or doesn't include the $15 an hour minimum wage hike, is that once it gets to Joe Biden's desk and he gets a signature on it, it's not going to take very long to actually get the $1,400 stimulus checks out. The last one, payment started going out within about 3 or 4 days of when President Trump signed it. So with Joe Biden's signature, I'm expecting something similar to that. Probably within the first 3 to 5 days, direct deposits would start going out, and then checks and debit cards a couple of weeks behind that. We've gotten word from the IRS that every single person from the first and second stimulus packages have been paid, or at least the payments have been sent out. So if you did not get one, the next step that you're going to have to do is actually claim that amount on your 2020 taxes when you do your when you file your tax return. And if you think talking about a $1.9 trillion stimulus package is crazy, buckle up. As we know, for the past month, Joe Biden and his administration has been saying this is just the first part of his stimulus plan. The second part of the stimulus plan, which is supposed to be more for infrastructure, what Democrats are calling a needed infrastructure upgrade, or as Republicans call it, basically trying to get money to pay for their Green New Deal initiatives. Side note, you might want to ask Texas how that's going. And so everything is kind of fluid right now for this second part of the bill. But buckle up, because initial estimates were thought that his administration was putting together a $3 trillion infrastructure deal. Well, Joe Biden actually met with union leaders today to discuss what some of the plans are, the current plans, the future plans. And those union leaders, they said, yeah, that's no problem. We can absolutely do those upgrades that you want. However, it's going to cost you $4 trillion. Yes, $4 trillion. So that's $4 trillion plus the 1.9 that is most likely going to be spent now, on top of the $900 billion that was spent in December, even though most of that still has yet to go out, and the $2.2 trillion that was spent last March. That makes for a grand total $9 trillion in what would probably be a year and a half. If that doesn't shock you and scare you, I don't know what will. And I try to remain bipartisan when talking about the stimulus checks, because I know there are, I was going to say good people on both sides. Oh. Because we don't know a lot of the details yet, so not really going to get into that. But the initial shock that I saw when reading about the second part of this plan, it really is crazy. Especially when we have a certain percentage of the population on Social Security that got a 1.3% raise in their monthly benefits, that they are not getting the $200 per month benefit that increase that Joe Biden and his administration said they would a couple of months ago. And like I said, none of the details are there yet, but I did read that said less than 1% of that $4 trillion, yes, trillion, would actually go to programs and assistance programs that actually help the people. So if you want to continue to follow along with this, I would ask you to click that subscribe button. Don't forget to tap that bell notification icon and smash that thumbs up button, because it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. So I really appreciate you sticking around for this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.